Build Right, your one-stop diary for the built environment right here in Lagos State. Every Thursdays at 9:15 towards 10 a.m., Build Right takes you on an excursion through the built environment using the right talents, using the treasures, and of course the professional acumen of great people as crucial lifelines for the attainment of a well-planned city. The program is brought to you by the Lagos State Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, and of course the ministry that is responsible for the initiation, formulation, and implementation of physical plans and urban development right here in Lagos State. It's nice to have you join us. My name is Victor Oteri. All right, then. So on today's edition of the program, we'll be reflecting through the eyes of the Office of Physical Development. Okay, we'll be finding out what that office is all about. We'll be looking at the mandate that they have, and then we'll be delving into the operative development plans for Lagos State. All that and much more will be part of the menu, and you also have a chance to connect with us during the course of the program, but that will be on our usual lines 08099120777 and 09153877127. A brief break, we'll be back.
Dear Lagosians, the vision of making Lagos a sustainable and resilient state through community regeneration and inclusive physical planning begins with building right. We all have a role to play in achieving this vision in line with the Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law of 2019 as amended. Do you know that before buying a land or building on it, you must check for the permissible use from the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development? Do you know that you must obtain a planning permit and authorization to commence the construction of your building? Do you also know that you require state certification and certificate of completion for building construction in Lagos State? Estate developers must obtain layout approval before developing their estate and obtain full planning permit after the expiration of a provisional planning permit. Their Lagosians, do not carry out unapproved renovation, remodeling, or demolition. Do not break the seal on an enforced property. Do not obtain fake planning permits, and do not abandon uncompleted buildings. Do not break the law. Build right in accordance with the state operative development plans. Let's work together to make Lagos a sustainable smart city of choice. For more information, download the Lagos State MPPUD app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe ni. Announcer, Lagos State Government.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Build Right is the program. And quickly, let's take you through the roads right now. We're still tracking that multiple accident at Ologolo. Right, that's within the Lekki Ekpe Expressway. That's I understand it was due to overspeeding involving 3 vehicles, but 2 already parked on one side of the walkway. So that means 2 of them that have been taken off, and they're still trying to deal with one. Okay, so take note of that as you drive through that corridor. We're talking about Ologolo. All right, that's within the Lekki Aja corridor. Right here on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, heading towards the Third Mainland Bridge, that's an impediment just by motorways inwards Alakpere. It's been there overnight, and it's occupying about 60% of the road. So it's really causing a whole lot of slowness within that corridor. And the traffic managers, as you heard from Oluwole not too long ago, please, if you can divert through that's VIS, from that corridor to link up with the Oluwole Junction and connect Lateef Jakonde Road, that'll be much better for you. If you're listening to it right now, if you're coming in from the Long Bridge, by the time you approach the Beja corridor, you can divert through that end to link up with VIS, and from there you can proceed through Oluwole Junction to connect Lateef Jakonde Road and proceed on your journey. If you want to connect Ikorodu Road, you can see you to Kudirat Abila Way and drive straight down to link up with that end. But if you have passed that point, if you are around Otedola, you can make use of under the bridge as well. Okay, so we're saying that you can connect. That's Nuruddin Oluwole, and from there you can proceed on your journey to link up with Ikorodu Road. Okay. You can also try, that's at Allen intersection, yes, and make use of that corridor to link up with Toyin, and from there proceed on your journey to link up with Bank Anthony Way or perhaps connect with Maryland. Okay, that's another alternating point for you. So that's the way it is. Very, very clumsy. Same for Lagos Abeokuta Expressway. That's another breakdown there to report. And it's by the narrowed part there at National. And what we can see from our live cameras here is also indicating it's tailing back all the way towards Cement. So it's pretty slow around that corridor this morning. Quite unfortunate. It's turning out to be a breakdown morning, okay, so to say. But traffic managers are well spread across town to ensure that you have it good all the way. All right, so Build Right is the program. And today, like I said, we'll be, dwelling through the viewpoint of one very, very special office. And I'm talking about, the office which is responsible for physical plans and all of that, okay? We'll be dwelling through that. I'm talking about Office of Physical Planning with the Lagos State Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. So joining me in the studios this morning, I have the Permanent Secretary of that office, Engineer Oluwole Sotire. He's right here with me in the studios. Nice to have you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Victor.
And you're welcome to Traffic Radio.
Thank you very much.
It's your first time of being here?
I was here a few years back to talk on something on housing development.
Oh, okay. So you've been here before?
Yes, I've been
but
here
it's not compared to what you can see right now. So turn to your left. You can see a camera?
Yes, quite interesting.
Can you identify any of these roads?
Yes, quite a number of them. I see Ikorodu Road, Ojota intersection. I see a few places around the Alausa Secretariat.
Wow. And you can also see the build-up too on Oteri right now.
Yes, I was almost stuck in that.
You almost stuck in it?
I was almost stuck in that. I was lucky I took a diversion.
Oh, through Beja?
I came down at the Ojota interchange.
Oh,
I
okay.
decided to come in through Ikorodu Road.
Ikorodu Road.
And I came in through Oregon Road.
Oh, lucky you.
That's what saved me.
Lucky you. All right, so what do you make of this, by the way, this innovation right here in the studios? What do you make of it?
It's lovely. It's really, really good, to be able to see different parts of Lagos, especially areas where we know there's usually a lot of traffic. The kind of information you dish out from this studio is very useful to Lagosians. Like I said, it saved me. I would have been late for this program if I wasn't listening to what was happening also.
Wonderful.
So a lot of people would have been saved so much hours. Instead of getting stuck in traffic, you take alternative routes, all because of the information you are able to give them on time.
Right. So
it's fantastic.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And Engineer Sotire, perhaps the most convenient point to begin our conversation this morning is the current amnesty window for planning permit approvals, and that's for completed buildings. So how is that amnesty program? How is it going? So far, so good.
Yeah. Once again, good morning, Lagos. Good morning, everybody. Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, recently approved the amnesty for Lagosians. And what does this amnesty cover? It covers buildings that have been built without permits. Ordinarily, one should be penalized for building without permits. So the amnesty is waiving that penalty for building without permits. All other fees are still in place. You still come with your necessary documents, and you'll be charged your normal processing fee.
Okay.
But the penalty for building without permit will be waived. And this is an opportunity for Lagosians. Right. There are a lot of them in Lagos, and we've noticed that very, 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 only a very little percentage of buildings in Lagos actually have a permit. Wow. And so we're trying to encourage people, come in, get your permits now. Mr. Governor has graciously approved that we waive the penalty.
Right.
And this is only going to be for a limited period of time.
How long is it going to take?
It's just 90 days, and I dare say with 30 days is gone. So
that's true.
Probably have about 60 days left.
Right. Yeah. That took off May 2nd. So exactly. 30 days gone already.
About 30 days gone.
But are people coming in right now? So far, so good?
Yes, a lot of people have been coming in, and that's why I need to make it clear that the amnesty is only a waiver on the penalty for building without permits. A lot of people have come in and just come with a piece of paper and they want it just stamped approved. No, you're still going to go through the normal processes.
Right. So what are the requirements? What are those? What are the things I'm supposed to come along with?
Okay. So first of all, the first thing is you need to come with a proof of ownership. We need to be sure the piece of land is yours.
Okay.
Before we begin to grant you an approval, so that we're not giving you an approval on someone else's piece of land.
That's very true.
So that's the first thing you need, and then you come in with your drawings. We look at it to see that it meets all these other necessary requirements of the government. You'll definitely be required to be a tax-paying citizen, and your drawings will consist of structural, electrical, mechanical, and whatnot. If it's an existing building, we expect you to also come with what we call a non-destructive test result.
All right, just 1 second. Just hold on 1 second. I have this call. Hello there. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Victor. This
yeah.
is just a flash update.
All right, Oluwole.
Concerning the case of a broken down articulated vehicle
Yes.
at motorways heading towards Alapere.
Right.
Yeah, the situation has been resolved now.
Oh, good.
So yes, so we appeal to those that are stuck in traffic to just be calm. Any route to connect Third Mainland Bridge will soon, be normal.
Okay.
As we have been able to
Resolve
move out the articulated vehicle.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. All right.
Thank you.
So we're going to reiterate that. Thank you so much for that. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
it appears we have Soko. Yeah, Soko has really arrived. The articulated vehicle has been moved up from that point at motorways. So it's going to be much better now. Those of you at the rear on a long bridge or perhaps Oteri having it pretty slow, it's going to get better any moment from now if you're hoping to connect the Third Mainland Bridge. Yeah, so you're saying all the drawings, right? Must be.
Yes, you need to submit the drawings. Of course, those are the things we are going to approve, and that will be your evidence. That will be the hard copy of your evidence of an approval.
Right.
When they are stamped.
But we know that there's some people that would have built without all these things that you're talking about. Yeah. Even the drawings, the structural, the alignment, and all of that. We know people who just, got somebody who calls himself a builder somewhere, and they just start, putting cement blocks together. Before you know it, it becomes a house. So, how can those people correct that anomaly?
Yes, so we have what you call as built drawings. What you built, you bring up a sketch, or you do a drawing. You can, despite the fact that you're not likely to even build without a drawing, or at least you'd have a drawing in your head.
Okay, somehow
you'd have a picture. So anyway, you would now be required to translate it to a hard copy, and submit something. We should be able to identify the kind of structure you're putting up. We need to know how many floors.
Okay.
We need to know how deep are you going. Are you having one level of basement or two levels of basement?
Right.
So you must be able to translate what you've done.
All right.
Back to black and white.
And you can still take advantage of that window up to now, right?
Yes, we still have about 2 more months left.
Where can they come to?
Well, you can go to any of our district offices of the Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority. They have district offices scattered all over the state, at least in the 57 local governments and LCDAs. You can also go to the headquarters at off of Akinjobi Way.
Okay.
Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority. If they have difficulties, they can come to the office of the Permanent Secretary at Alausa, and they will be directed accordingly.
Let's talk about your office now. Office of Physical Planning for the Lagos State Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. What do you guys do at that office?
Okay, yes. The Office of Physical Planning really is saddled with the preparation of plans for the state government. We prepare plans for the use of the special environment. They say order, they say is the first law in heaven. If we do not have a form of order, there will be confusion everywhere.
Right.
So we are to prepare those plans, see to the implementation and compliance of such plans.
Right. So these plans involves what now? Does it tell me what is going to be here, what is going to be there? What does this plan speak to?
Yes. So the plan is a summary of what should be where. What is permissible? Yes, and where should be what? And what is permissible in certain areas. So it's not necessarily a strict plan. It doesn't mean this is exactly what you must build, but it says these are the things that can come up in such a place. It also helps us to set out other things like, physical structures are not the only thing that makes the environment. You're going to talk about the roads. You're going to talk about rail lines. You're going to talk about drainage services. Even beaches, places for recreation, green areas. So all of these things are important. And so that's basically what the office is expected to do. We're supposed to see to carrying out these plans and the implementation.
All right. So we have different kinds of plans, right?
Okay.
So
definitely.
I know you guys deal with something called Operative Development Plan, right? I know you also deal with something called the Master Plan and all of that. So what plans is your office really dealing with? Is this all the plans?
Yes, so we're in charge of all the plans. So we split them into two. We call them higher level plans and lower level plans.
Okay.
And then higher level plans will be dealing with a greater area. You could be talking about sub-regions. Maybe you want to take Ikorodu sub-region. So we're talking about maybe the entire Ikorodu sub-region. I mean, so obviously you're not going to be able to see details at that point. And then we go down. So we have some that are also, we could take Ibile, for example.
Right.
The 5 administrative divisions, and you could take for each administrative division, you have just a general concept of what you want each area.
Right.
In that subdivision to represent.
All right. So
and then we come down. Okay, so
go ahead.
We'll come down to lower order plans. I will come down to as low as what we call layouts, where if you have to buy any piece of land that is over 1 hectare, that's 10,000 square meters, you must also plan it.
Okay.
And then you can get down to the details. You can get down to what happens on each street.
Right. So let's look at the significance of these plans to the development of Lagos. How significant are they?
Like I said, order is the first law in heaven. It helps us to plan orderliness.
Okay.
And it's a benchmark. We wouldn't want, for example, a situation where you have a factory, and maybe a factory that maybe the activities create a lot of noise next to a residential house. You know what that means, of course.
Right.
Those in the residentials definitely will not have peace.
That's right.
And so this kind of plans helps us to delineate where you can have this, where you can have factories, and they will not be a nuisance to anybody. Where you can have churches, where you can have schools, where you can have nightclubs. You understand? Yes, it might not be labeled nightclub, but we know the kind of, it's under a segment.
Right.
And so there are proper places where they can be placed. You won't place a nightclub.
So what would you say? What would you say for those that build churches in streets where people are living?
So even the provision for churches, in some areas, they are permissible if such land has been designated as what we call place of worship. They are permissible, and they have criteria that they must meet. If you meet up with this criteria, you will not be a nuisance to your environment. It's when you do not meet up with this criteria, you begin to have parking problems. Even your structure has not been properly built to accommodate the people, and then they spill over to the road. And of course, noise. You don't need the noise.
Right.
You don't have to be a noise nuisance to the environment.
Right.
So all of those are things that once you keep within the law.
All right. Flash up. This one is from one of the listeners. Says a horrible incident just happened this morning at Liverpool Overhead Bridge, Apapa, Lagos. He says it's a 40-foot container-laden truck almost falling on the bridge. It's hanging as we speak. Wow. You didn't put your name, by the way, but Majesty responded that you can help us get there. It's hanging. It says on the bridge, Liverpool Bridge. That's around the Apapa corridor. Okay, so let's see how we can, send signals to that corridor. Oluwole and others. All right. This is from a motorist. Says very horrible incident around Liverpool Bridge. All right. So let's get to it. So it means that these plans from your office responsible for creating order across Lagos. But what would you say about those communities that are springing up? Is it to say that these plans are not enforceable in those areas, or what's going on?
Yes, no, of course they are enforceable, and as much as possible we will also be going into all these new communities. And we know we need to be human beings, and we are encouraging all of these people. Please come up with your plans.
Okay.
Come up with your proposals. Come up with your drawings. Let us look at it for you and guide you on what to do. At the end of the day, it really is for your benefit. I mean, I'm not going to live everywhere. I'm only going to live in my own small house.
That's right.
So those communities that are springing up in all the Bejuleki areas and the rest, what we call, should we want to call them New Lagos or what?
Right.
they're the ones that are going to be there for a long time, and I'm sure they are looking forward to living good. So we're saying, let us guide you, so that in 10 years' time you will not regret it. Submit your drawings. We'll tell you this is permissible. If you need to know the reasons, I'm sure if you engage us, we'll tell you why certain things are not permissible, and I'm sure most of them will appreciate.
Right. So, if I want to get what now from you, if I need something, what do I need? Is it the plans? If I want to get my approvals, do I need to come to your office?
Yes, you can. Like I said, you go to the nearest district office of Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority to where you want to build. We have district offices spread all over the place. You go there with your drawings, with your proof of ownership, and then they will guide you on all other things you need, depending on exactly the structure. Like I said, if it's an as-built structure, you come with what we call an as-built drawing. There are calculations we do to see if it is permissible. Of course, there are certain things that would still not be permissible, and will tell you need to go and make this adjustment.
Right.
You will not build in someone else's compound and tell us to give you an approval. We'll tell you to go and remove that portion.
All right. So if I infract on the plans of Lagos, if I am doing something which is contrary to any of these plans that you've mentioned, what happens to me? Is it a penalty or something against me?
So there are different types of infractions. Some of them will be penalties. Some of them we would actually remove. We will force you to do some of those things either by sealing, or we will even arrest you if you are threatening lives.
Okay. So that is by way of enforcement, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about operative development plans for Lagos State.
Okay.
What are they, and how did you come about it?
So, like I said, the operative development plans basically are in two stages. We have the higher order plans and the lower order plans.
Okay, they're the same.
Well, they are the same, but they cover different areas, and so the details you can get from each of them will be different.
So when you say higher order, are we talking of those in Victoria Island?
No. We are talking of the area of coverage. Like I said, I give an example. If we take Ibile, so you want to take the Badagry sub-region, for example. I mean, we cannot come down to details of each street, but we have what we call concepts.
Okay.
You have an idea that, okay, this area is going to be basically industrial, this area is going to be basically commercial, this area is residential, there should be a road that has high enough capacity, because you say that moving from this end to this end, you are going to need such road that can take so much capacity. So we have conceptual plans in that. When we come down to the lower order, now you are now coming down to things as low as an estate.
Okay.
I'm not so when I say an estate. So if you look along the Lagos-Ekpe Expressway, you see a lot of estates. Just about 10,000 square meters or more.
Right.
You can now come down to the roads. What should happen on each road?
Now, in those estates, does it specify how many floors I can build?
Yes, it gives you so much details. How many floors you can build? What is the maximum area of coverage? The type of development that you can bring up there.
Okay.
All of that will be. I said even certain areas, a certain percentage must be left for greenery,
right,
or for recreation. We are looking at having full lives. So it's not a question of just coming to your house and going. You should be able to live within the community.
Right.
There should be spaces that the community can come together.
Because I know that there's some places where most of those airplanes fly over, or in terms of trying to land. You guys do not allow high-rise buildings in those places?
Yes, definitely. There will be restrictions to the height they can go, and that is if they do not fall within an area that has been acquired.
Okay.
Because also we also reserve certain areas for such things, where we call them like buffer zones for the airports. So in such places, we do not expect any form of development.
All right. Then Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. If you're wondering who I'm speaking with this morning, Engineer Oluwole Sotire is the Permanent Secretary, Office of Physical Planning, right here with the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. We're going to take a short break right now. When we return, it'll be time to hear from you, even as we dwell on this. He's talked about what his office does in terms of creating and issuing out plans for the development of Lagos. So if you have any questions for him, feel free to connect with us. That will be on 08099 120777. That's 08099120777 and 09153877127. A brief break. We'll be back.
Dear Lagosians, the vision of making Lagos a sustainable and resilient state through community regeneration and inclusive physical planning begins with building right. We all have a role to play in achieving this vision in line with the Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law of 2019 as amended. Do you know that before buying a land or building on it, you must check for the permissible use from the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development? Do you know that you must obtain a planning permit and authorization to commence the construction of your building? Do you also know that you require state certification and certificate of completion for building construction in Lagos State? Estate developers must obtain layout approval before developing their estate and obtain full planning permit after the expiration of a provisional planning permit. Their Lagosians, do not carry out unapproved renovation, remodeling or demolition. Do not break the seal on an enforced property. Do not obtain fake planning permits and do not abandon uncompleted buildings. Do not break the law. Build right in accordance with the state operative development plans. Let's work together to make Lagos a sustainable smart city of choice. For more information, download the Lagos State MPPUD app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe ni. Announcer, Lagos State Government.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Build Right is the program. Those of you on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway heading towards the Third Mainland Bridge, it's still slow, even though we have that impediment by motorways. It's been taken off by LRU, but you're having it slow. They're trying to deal with the backlog right now, and so it's still pretty slow and clumsy. Those of you coming in from the Oteri end, please just be patient a bit. Like you said, the traffic managers are trying to see how they manage the situation to have it better. But you can make use of alternatives, all right? Divert through Beja, connecting VIS from there to Omole Junction. And then you can connect Latif Jakonde Road, drive straight down to the end of that road, connect Awolowo Way, proceed through Kudirat Abiola Way to connect Ikorodu Road if you want to make use of that corridor, okay? But if you're still heading to the island, just some little patience required, okay? I'm sure you'll get to your destination in no time. It's time to have you connect with us too. I have the Permanent Secretary, Office of Physical Planning, here with me in the studios, talking about Engineer Oluwole Sotire. 08099120777 is the numbers that you can connect with us. Or perhaps if you want to send in your messages, feel free to do so. We have some that are coming in already. This one says, good morning, sir. It says, how is the progress of these plans monitored and evaluated? This is Benjamin Ibukun sending this one in. So, but let's take this call. Hello there.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Sadiq reporting live from motorways in Godo.
All right, Sadiq.
I have a good news for you concerning the overnight impediment of a broken down truck that has been causing busy movement on this axis.
Okay.
That right now it has been pushed to one side of the road.
Good.
And now motorists can access the entire main carriageway at motorways in Godo right now.
Right.
And that's why I have a good news that traffic managers are well positioned to flush the backlog that has been caused due to this impediment since yesterday.
All right,
That is the update for now.
Thank you so much. Sadiq Yusuf, live motorbike reporter. He's been there to monitor things too, so he can tell you as well that that impediment has been moved to one side. It's a much better drive. Those of you at the rear by Oteri, like we can see from our screen right now, just a little bit of patience is required to get things going. All right, so Engineer Sotire, Benjamin is asking, how do you monitor these plans and how do you evaluate it?
Well, one of the things we are doing right now is we have what we call the 10-day program. And if all your documents are complete, we want to assure you should be able to get your approval within 10 days, 10 working days. But what we'll be doing going forward is at the point of submission, you will be have to leave a contact, either your WhatsApp or an email. Okay. And anytime there's anything outstanding, we'll get a message across to you. There will be a feedback mechanism that this is outstanding, this is requested.
So you are very sure that within 10 days, working days, one can get approval?
Yes, we encourage them to get all their documents. A lot of time, we bring something and one or two things are outstanding.
Right, let's take this call. Hello there, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir. My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Ijushaga.
Ijushaga, Emmanuel, talk to me.
Yes, sir. I want to greet your
The
guest.
PS. Yes, go ahead.
Well, I have an issue over here.
Okay.
I'm a tenant here. I'm not a landlord.
Okay.
But I hear you talking about church, where you should build church. I can tell you, this Ajibode Street. I don't know if you know, anybody knows the place. Ajibode Street is the street that has Oba of Ishaga. This street does not have up to 20 houses. There is minimum of 5 to 6 churches there. There is a street behind it, the opposite street. There is another like 6 churches in that street also. That street is also a close. It doesn't have up to 20 houses. Now, this is end of the month. Since day before yesterday, we started this down. That's how it has been happening. They have night duty with their stand. They even put speaker outside. And you know the reaction of our people towards religion. If you come out and start challenging them, it's unusual. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But we need government to please. It's not only Lekki and Via or Ikeja, because we don't see this thing over there. If you see churches there, they use soundproof. I attend a church in Ikeja. We use soundproof. You can't, even if you are outside the door of the church, you can't hear what they are saying. But over there is no sound.
Okay,
Please,
so
Lagos State government
let
do
me
something
let me
about
get
it.
your name again. What's your name again?
My name is Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. All right, Emmanuel,
Yes.
the very first advice I will give to you before the PS responds is that we have an agency that is in charge of that. They're called LASEPA, okay? The Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency. Just write to them, okay? What they do is write to them. You don't need to even put your name. Write to them anonymously, complain about that street, tell them there are about 5 or 6 churches there, and every night residents there do not sleep. They will come and serve them a notice for them to do what is right, okay? So you guys should do that. Take it up.
All right.
All right. Then thank you so much.
All right.
All right, Engineer Sotire, I'm sure you also want to add your voice to that.
Yes, thank you. I was going to say we were going to escalate it to the necessary authorities, but I appreciate what Emmanuel has just done, and like we tell Lagosians, please, when you see something, when you see an anomaly, please say something.
Yeah, but in that
Get
kind of
across to us.
case, how did they get those kind of approvals for church in that street?
Well, you just said something, and I dare say you might be wrong. So there's no guarantee that they have any approval.
Okay.
I doubt.
Okay, so does that mean you go to inspect to find out?
Yes,
about
so
it?
that's why I said I will escalate it to the necessary office.
All right, that's
And they'll get there.
Ajibode Street.
Ajibode Street in Ishaga.
Ishaga.
I've taken
All
note of
right.
that.
This one says, good morning, Engineer Sotire. It says, how does the ministry ensure public participation in the development and implementation of these plans? Okay, you didn't put your name. There's another one here says, hello, Traffic Radio. Please, what are the strategies for addressing the housing deficits in Lagos under these plans? Tokbe Taiwo is sending this one in. All right, so you want to quickly respond to those two?
Okay, yes. So thank you very much, the first person. Well, we try to encourage the members of the public to participate. While we do review of some of our operative development plans, we have stakeholders meetings, and we invite all members of the public. You know, we also get to a stage where we display our proposals for the review of the plans, and we display them in various places. We display them in your local governments. We advertise this display even in the national dailies, and so we encourage members of the public. This is the only way we can get you to bring in your opinions.
Okay.
When we are displaying these things, and when we carry out this stakeholders meeting. Only yesterday we had a stakeholders meeting at Bejuleki. A few weeks ago, we also had another one at what's this area now? In Bagada area.
Okay.
You know, and
so constantly you engage with the communities.
Yes. So
all
please,
right.
when they see this advertisement, they should turn up. It's our only. That's the only way we could get across to them.
All right. All right. Taiwo is talking about how does these plans address housing needs. So are there areas you put aside for residential buildings and all of that?
Yes, like I said, in the operative development plans, certain areas will be strictly for residential development.
Okay.
You know, but again, now the type of housing we're looking at, where Lagos State, as you know, is limited in land space.
Right.
And so we're encouraging as many people as possible to go vertical.
That means they build high rises?
Yes, that's the only way we'll be able to accommodate the influx of people coming into Lagos.
but the government should be able to take charge. There must be a prototype. I mean, if you go to Dubai, for instance, you see that most of their houses there, they are built in the same way and they are all high rises, that kind of a thing. So why is government not emulating that?
So fortunately, like I said, I was there a few years back, talk about housing development.
Right.
So I want to show you the government is also into housing development, and we are also building, nothing less than 4 floors.
Okay.
And we have that scattered. There are a lot of housing estates
that are scattered across the state now.
But government is not going to be able to do it all.
All
we
right.
are encouraging individuals
to also join. All right, this one says, good morning, Mr. Victor and Engineer Sotire. My question is, how are the development plans addressing the issue of traffic congestion in Lagos? Engineer Coyote is sending this one in. Okay. Traffic congestion?
Yes, Engineer Coyote. Thank you for that question. Like I said earlier, that's why we need to look at these development plans. We want as much as possible for traffic to move in both directions.
Okay.
We don't want a situation where there's a concentration of commercial activities only in one area of the state, so that in the morning everybody is going in one direction. Of course, there will be congestion. So this is part of what the operative development plans is supposed to do.
All right, let's go.
We scatter this in various areas.
We have to go now because of time constraints. Engineer Sotire, I'm just say big thank you to you. Quickly, 30 seconds, your parting thoughts on the program?
Well, first of all, I want to say a big thank you to Traffic Radio for this opportunity. I also want to encourage Lagosians. We are into development together. Do not leave it for the government alone. One, we plead to people, please make sure you get your permits before you do any development. Whenever you see any infraction, please do not hesitate to contact the necessary authorities before these infractions get out of order.
All right.
And do not forget, please pay your tax. It's very important.
So we'll leave it at that for now. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so that's Engineer Oluwole Sotire. He's the Permanent Secretary, Office of Physical Planning with the MPPUD, Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. We have to go. The program has been produced by Mike James. I say a big thank you to Afe John and Okpeyemi Shodunke. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. I want to appreciate Adetola Akinsanya, Chief Public Affairs Officer for the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. Next week, Thursday, the program makes a return. But till then, I am Victor Oteri. Have a great day.